Wow. Hello, everybody. Hopefully, everybody has been able to connect okay on YouTube, on my YouTube channel there. Certainly appreciate everybody's flexibility. If you are watching, post a little something in the chat there and let me know that you are there. I don't see when you join, but I do see when you post something. And I would love to know who all's there tonight. Thank you guys so much for joining after missing a week, the first week that we ever missed out of 155 weeks. Wow, what a crazy weekend we had! What a crazy week we've had, for sure. Somebody give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you can see me okay, hear me okay. Before I press on, I want to tell you everything that's been going on here. And why we had to miss our first ever. Actually, was it our first ever? I think we may have missed one when Charlotte and I were in Morocco. I think we did miss one. All the others we have managed to move a day out if we've had to, but this time we had to skip the entire week. It's crazy. I'll tell you why here in a minute. Let's see. All right. Yep. All's good. Okay, good. Everybody can hear me okay, see me okay. Well, appreciate you guys being adaptable. As you saw on the Speaking of Zane Facebook group, thank you for Lori posting that my Facebook was hacked just over a week ago now. And I know it was hacked because I got a notification that someone changed the password. And they changed the email address on the account, and I got the guy's email address actually. And of course, I went through the normal procedure, whatever that is, to try to get the account back, assuming that it was going to be a very straightforward process. Considering it's a behemoth of a company, a technology company. Certainly they have provisions for some percentage of their billion users getting locked out. But I'm here over a week later, and still cannot get in, and still waiting on some action to be taken. And you know what? It's not a big deal, but I've learned a lesson. I won't bank on it always being available, that's for sure. I won't post pictures and different things there thinking that's my only place for the pictures, anything like that. But it's just a shame. I certainly hope I can get back in. I've provided, proof of who I am. This lockout is supposedly for my protection because they saw suspicious activity. So I've sent them verification of who I am and the account and all that stuff. So we'll see how it plays out. But I'm convinced that not a single human being works at Facebook. It's all computer driven, machine driven. Everything you do is, all your interaction with them is online, and you get in these vicious loops of resetting this and trying this and showing this. And so far, nothing has worked, but we will see how things go. Oh man, what a weekend. I have more. There's more important stuff than Facebook that's been happening here at the house, but let me see who all's here. Lori is in there. Daryl is in there. Ken is in there. Jim is in there. Okay, awesome. We may get some others. We may not get a bunch of people if they didn't see Lori's post on Speaking of Zane. They wouldn't know to come to the YouTube channel. But every week I broadcast to the YouTube channel, just like I do to Facebook. And the main reason is they get archived there. And if I ever need to go back and look, or if I want to point somebody to a particular edition episode, it's very easy to go to the YouTube channel and go through the list of the sessions. But anyway, it's great to have you guys here, and anybody that wants to watch the recording, it'll be available, and they can get up to speed on what the heck's been going on. But we have had a crazy week. There's Matt Aaron up in Michigan. Yeah, so we, oh man, they say things come in threes and fours probably, but and now I don't remember exactly when everything started, but we had about last Saturday or so, Lori or Hannah goes to the doc, and they admit her to the hospital. Hannah's our oldest daughter, who has our little grandson Everett, and they live here with us. And anyway, I'm struggling in the basement with a sewer pump, a sewage. What do you call the pump? Not a septic pump, sewage ejector pump in the basement. Anyway, so it's a full finished basement, and anytime you have something in a basement, you have to have a sump pump, sewage sump pump, and that all the water that is used in the basement goes into the sump pump, and it gets pumped out. And anyway, the house is about 17, 18 years old, I guess, but so it's about time for things to start breaking. Well, this pump broke anyway, and the home warranty people wouldn't replace it. They said I didn't properly maintain it. That's okay. So I had my first experience changing a sewage ejector sump pump, and wow, what a shitty job. But I got it done, man, and my PVC joints are perfect. A lot of math involved in plumbing, but anyway, I got that old one cut out, got the new one put in, and it's just a messy job. And so all of that's going on while Hannah has to go to the hospital because her leg is swollen, and she's never had anything like this before. So she goes to the doc to see what the heck is wrong with her leg, and turns out she has blood clots. Well, that wasn't a big surprise to us because Lori has a blood clotting condition, which resulted in a couple of what are they called? Pulmonary embolisms that she has had over the years, and she has a condition, and those kind of things are generally hereditary. Although it sounds like Hannah's might be something different, but anyway. So they say she's got some blood clots after they do a scan and all that stuff. And this is in Cartersville, Georgia. And the folks in Cartersville aren't quite equipped. So they transfer her to Rome, Georgia. By this time, Lori's with her. Of course, Lori's with her. Lori is with every one of our children and grandchildren anytime anything's wrong with them. And thank God she is, especially this time. So anyway, they get her to Rome, Georgia, about 30 miles from here. And they decided they need to go in and take out some of these blood clots. I don't know if you've been watching Lori's page or not, but there was a pretty graphic photo of a bunch of the clots that came out. It must have been 25 or 30 clots of various sizes. Just an amazing thing. Normally people will have a clot. This was clots, and any one of those, any section, any small piece of any of those, if they break loose and they travel to your heart or your lungs or your brain, that's what causes strokes. That's what causes, instant death. It's like there's no warning. It travels, and then boom, that's the end of it. And so fortunately that did not happen to Hannah, but so Hannah was there. Lori was up there dealing with it. And of course, her little son Everett, and was at his dad's house and everything. Anyway, so they get done with this, and then all of a sudden, we're thinking, okay, well that's great. Well, now now that they got this immediate issue, now they always triage, and then they'll turn to preventative, right? What caused it? What do we do to stop it from ever happening again? Well, they went back the next day. This is Monday now, I guess. They went back the next day, and did another scan, and they're like, oh man, all the clots are back. Not only that, there's more of them. So it's like, what? So, and then it turns out, and I don't even know the whole story yet. That's how hectic it's been around here. But this is what I'm about to tell you. I don't even know the whole story. But evidently, the doctor up there in Rome said, I'm not going to do anything more. I'm going to send her home. And this is after they saw she had more clots. And I'm still a little bit confused about the whole thing. But anyway, Lori was there with her, thank God, because Hannah was in pain and out of it. And but Lori was there, and Lori, I don't even know the whole story, guys. But somehow Lori, a friend of hers, made a call, talked to a doctor at Emory in Atlanta. And next thing you know, Lori's calling me, okay, we're getting the heck out of Rome. We're heading to Atlanta, but we got to be there by 5:30. It's 4 o'clock. It's about 60 miles. And it's rush hour. And I'm like, okay, don't get yourself killed on the way. She says, well, if I don't get, one of us is going to be dead if we don't get there in time. And it turns out that probably would have been the case. So Lori got Hannah down to Emory, where they very quickly got this world-renowned vascular surgeon there. I looked him up, and impressive pedigree. And anyway, they did the same thing, did another surgery and got her in the ICU, and did another surgery, and one surgery started at midnight and went to 6 a.m. It was incredible thing. And Lori was with her the whole time. It was crazy. But at the end of it all, Friday, they did another procedure to remove yet another series of clots and to put a stent or two in. I don't know if there's more than one in, but they put these stents strategically located to prevent exactly what I was talking about, a blood clot that breaks away from traveling to the heart. They try to stop it before it gets to the heart, the lungs, or the brain. So they've got that in place. Lori's had those before too. So anyway, so thank God, Hannah should not be here, honestly. If things had played out any other way than they did, she probably would not have made it. But for, the series of events that occurred, and all really hinging on her mother, being so totally engaged, just an amazing thing. And so now she's home. Hannah is home, and she's recovering and going, she'll probably be on these blood thinners for the rest of her life. She's still a young woman, but just crazy. I don't know what what her next steps are. She's sure she's got to have some follow-ups and some other scans and all that stuff. But anyway, that was our crazy week, and Lori spent most of that week either awake all night at the hospital or sleeping on the sofa at the hospital. And one day she was able to come home after that 6-hour surgery that ended at 6 a.m. She was able to drive home. She jumped into bed about 7, 8 in the morning and slept till early afternoon, and then jumped in the car and went right back to Emory. But yeah, so once things calm down here, I can't wait to hear the whole story about Rome and the doctor up there and the circumstances. But Hannah is so fortunate to, have gotten down to Emory in time. And but yeah, Lori's put in the chat there that Hannah's supposed to start grad school tomorrow. She's in a master's program at Kennesaw State University. And of course, she won't, she'll have to figure out how to catch up on that. But she's been in communication with them, and they've been good about it, of course. But how about that? I mean, here she is starting grad school and going through this. But anyway, we're just grateful she's alive. She's alive. The sump pump is fixed, and oh gosh, it's crazy. But And then Hannah, and then Lori, of course, Lori was supposed to be taking a birthday trip on Tuesday, last Tuesday, up to see her friend Karen in Chicago for the week. And of course, she's had to postpone that. But we didn't get a chance last week to say happy birthday to Lori. August 11th is Lori's birthday, and she spent her birthday by her daughter's side, making sure that her daughter stayed alive. And I can't think of a better way to spend your birthday, I guess. So I think Lori is rescheduling her trip at some point, maybe next month. But she did come home that morning to get some sleep, to some flowers from yours truly, and some chocolates. So hopefully she appreciated that. But I know her daughter appreciated her for looking after her. Whew. Well, let's see. That was crazy. What else is happening? Oh, you know who else's birthday was August 11th? Is Aunt Paula. I don't know if Aunt Paula is in here or not, but Aunt Paula also has a birthday on August 11th. So Aunt Paula, happy birthday. And speaking of Lori's birthday, Lori never's done this before. This was the first time she did this. But you know how on Facebook you can do those birthday fundraisers or whatever? She started one very innocently, and they set the target for a couple $100. And anyway, her little birthday fundraiser raised $370, and it's all for My Warriors Place. So she wanted me to pass that on. So she's very proud that all of you, those of you that contributed, thank you so much. I can't think of a more worthy cause than what Kelly Kowal does there at My Warriors Place. In fact, I was talking to some of my coworkers, and we are wanting to plan another workday down there in the fall once it cools off just a bit in Florida. We'll take a trip down there, and I'll make sure that Lori and I can stay at the property there. But good job, Lori, and all of you that contributed to Lori's birthday fundraiser for My Warriors Place. I don't think she knew quite what she was doing, but she's like, "Guy, we raised some money for Kelly." So that was great. So thank you all for that. Let's see. Oh, what else? What else? Oh, hat of the week. Ken, was that you pointing out I didn't have a hat on? Well, I happen to have a hat here. Hat of the week. Hat of the week is, this one's a little bit, is Georgia Southern. Georgia Southern. Georgia Southern University down in Statesboro, Georgia. That's where our daughter Charlotte graduated from college before she went on to Texas A&M. But I picked this for the hat of the week because I was on a work call this week. I forget which day it was, Thursday, I think, with one of our business partners, HPE, Hewlett Packard Enterprise. And one of the young ladies there that was presenting to my team was a Georgia Southern grad. So Georgia Southern. So I am wearing the Georgia Southern hat. Ken said he didn't recognize me without a hat on. I have a good head of hair, Ken. Take after my dad. We have this, well, I don't know what you call this, receding hairline, but we both, I mean, I know I'm going to be okay. I'm not going to go bald because I've got my dad's genes and he still has a full head of hair, albeit gray. So, but I do, I was always told, don't wear a ball cap all the time. Don't wear a ball cap, it'll turn you bald. And 58 years later, I'm still all right. So I think I'll stick with the ball caps. But that's the hat of the week. And I'm doing a poor job of with my editing here. There we go. All right, what else do we have this week? Let me see if anybody else has joined. If you are watching us, welcome. If you are joining us maybe for the first time, I know that Lori published this link out to some of her friends. If you are joining us for the first time via YouTube, welcome. We do this every Sunday night. We try to. We missed last Sunday because of all the circumstances I just described, but generally most people watch us on Facebook, either on my personal Facebook page or on our Speaking of Zane Facebook page. But I always broadcast to YouTube as well. This is the first time I think that most of you have watched live on YouTube. So, but if any of you are here for the first time, welcome. What do we do here? This, it's called Speaking of Zane, and basically it's our attempt at making sure that our son Zane, who passed away about 5.5 years ago, is not forgotten. They say a person dies twice. Once when they take their last breath, and then again when their name is no longer spoken. And we couldn't bear that thought. And so I get on here and spout my loud mouth every Sunday night for about 45 minutes or an hour, talking about Zane, talking about things going on here at the wonderful McDonald Estate, the Sane Asylum, and other things related to military service groups and organizations and different things that we do related to the military and awareness around PTSD and different things like that. And we've been doing it now for this is our 156th episode, 156th episode of Speaking of Zane. So if this is your first time joining us on YouTube, or you're watching this for the first time, welcome. We'd love to have you join us every week. You never know what we're going to talk about. We have guests frequently, not often. Sometimes we have guests. I'd love to have more guests. I sure would. We've got the facility, the capability to do it. But anyway, that's what we're all about here. You never know what we're going to talk about. I do, usually just a few minutes before we go live on Sundays. But we do have some things that we do that are routine and regular, like our 2 challenges that we've had going now for a couple of years, our Veteran Cemetery Challenge and our Think a Vet Challenge. And we're going to go over those here in a minute. But if you are listening or watching for the first time and you want us to know you're there, I would love to see who you are and acknowledge you. If you put something in the chat there, it'll show up for me. So thank you. Okay, a couple of items on This Week in Military History. Yesterday was Navajo Code Talker Day. Navajo Code Talker Day. Now, some of you probably know what the Navajo Code Talkers were. If you don't know, go look it up. Navajo Code Talkers. Basically, it was Navajo Indians in World War II who were used to communicate using their native tongue, and therefore the enemy, the Japanese, couldn't understand them. And it was the perfect encryption technique. And most of the Navajo Code Talkers have passed away, as have most World War II veterans. And we have a few lingering that are centurions now, and we lose more and more every day. Truly the greatest generation, and I'm a student of that period of time. In fact, I was just reading some books. I'm reading 2 or 3 books at any given time about or related to that. And if you're listening, Roy Cupper out in Vegas, your books should arrive tomorrow. Hopefully. Speaking of World War II books. Okay. Also, in 1961, something that's a little bit closer to our timeline, especially guys like me and Daryl, Ken, Steve, Amy, and others, directly sort of affected us, the Cold War. 1961, East Germany began building the Berlin Wall, which came down in the early 90s, if you recall. All right, let's move on to the Veteran Cemetery Challenge. And we do have some updates here. And now we're doing 2 weeks worth here. So since we missed last week, I'm trying to make up. Let me see who's messaging me here. You never know. Normally I won't pause something, but you know the way things have been going lately. Okay. All right, let's see. So the Veteran Cemetery Challenge, 2 weeks worth now. So if I've missed any, you guys let me know. But I think I captured at least what I know about. Daryl visited Jefferson Barracks National Cemetery last week to place flowers at the headstone of my friend Amanda Duggar's mother, Sonia Carter, who's buried there in the same plot with her husband, Ed Carter. And Daryl and Amanda got a chance to meet a year or two ago. And Daryl does a great job of placing flowers on the birthday of many of the folks that he knows or knows of out there at Jefferson Barracks. So well done, Daryl. I know Amanda was just overjoyed about that. And speaking of Amanda, she has an aunt called Ingrid, and her aunt Ingrid is her mother, Sonia's sister. She's closer to age to Amanda than she was to her. Well, about midway maybe, but they're like sisters, Ingrid and Amanda. Anyway, Ingrid, I met Ingrid at Ed's funeral in St. Louis, there at Jefferson Barracks a few years ago, and we hit it off. She has such a dynamic personality. Well, she retired from the Air Force, right? So obviously we had a lot to talk about. And turns out we were both stationed at RAF Mildenhall at the same time. We didn't know each other at the time, but it gave us a lot to talk about and everything. And so we've become friends over the years through our mutual, through Amanda. Anyway, Amanda messaged me Friday morning and said, "Hey, Ingrid's promotion ceremony is going to be on Zoom if you can join." I said, "Oh yeah, it's Friday the 13th. She invited me." Okay, so I joined her Aunt Ingrid's promotion ceremony. So get this, Ingrid joined the Air Force in 1982, I think, 1982. E1, as low as you can go. And on Friday, she was promoted to the highest civilian GS 15. She's now a senior senior civilian, GS 15, some executive director level in civil service, and she works at AFMPC there in Randolph Air Force Base in Texas. But anyway, I got to watch it on the Zoom conference, which was kind of cool. Anyway, just kind of a side, there was a little side story there since we were talking about Amanda's mom, Sonia. All right, so that was a visit for Daryl, and then Daryl made another visit this past week, and got chastised a little bit, I think, by the establishment there for feeding the deer, but that's okay. We'll follow that story, and I'll be happy to come bail you out there, Daryl. Let's see. Jim's in with us tonight, and Jim stopped by Omaha National to visit our friend Todd Vanderwerken. And last week was the second anniversary of Todd's passing, guys. I don't know if you remember that, but 2 years ago he passed, and then many of us convened on Omaha and got an opportunity to sort of have a little bit of a reunion there on the occasion of Todd's funeral. So, Jim, thank you for swinging by to see him. Let's see. Aunt Paula got a new one for us. Aunt Paula came back up to the Montgomery, Alabama area and attended the funeral of her Aunt Annette, who was a Rosie the Riveter in World War II. And that was at Prattville Memorial Gardens. And Aunt Paula says that there are a number of veterans buried there, including some relatives of hers, some additional relatives of hers. So we're going to add that one to our map. Prattville Memorial Gardens. And while Aunt Paula was up there in Alabama, she visited her husband, my Uncle Mike, there at Alabama National. So we'll add that. And then yesterday we had to go, Lori and I drove up to Cartersville at the hospital to pick up Hannah's car. which had been there for an entire week. And we were hoping it was still there. And anyway, we picked it up, and it was just another 14 miles or so to Georgia National Cemetery where Zane is. So I shot over there after I got Hannah's car and spent some time with Zane at Georgia National. And then Lori went to Georgia National today. So Zane had visitors 2 days in a row. So let's see, that takes our count to, we had 1 new cemetery this week to add and 7 visits for the week. So our count now for our Veteran Cemetery Challenge is at 463 since we started this thing about 2.5, 3 years ago. 463 visits that this little group has made to a veteran cemetery or a cemetery with veterans. And we've done that at 137 different locations now. So I love that. Absolutely love that. Okay, so keep up the good work there. Anytime you're traveling, if you swing into a cemetery, be sure to tell us about it. We'll add it to the list. And to me, the biggest thing is sharing it with other people, letting them know. I've often said I was very aware of Arlington National Cemetery. I had visited before, but I didn't realize there was the extensive network of national cemeteries that there is until I placed my own son in one, and that's a shame. And now I hold them in the highest regard and consider them hallowed ground. And anytime I come near one, I'll go out of my way to visit. And I just want to tell other people about them. And everybody that rests there gave a portion of their life, if not their life, in service to the country. That should be heralded. Anyway, thank you guys for playing along with us. All right, Thank a Vet Challenge. Let's see what we got here on the Thank a Vet Challenge. We are pursuing a goal. We're trying to get through 1,000 thank yous. 1,000 thank yous. That's our next major milestone. And we made a significant dent today, over these last 2 weeks. And I'll tell you what I know about. And I know I don't always see everything or hear everything. You guys sometimes tell me on the fly. But let me tell you what I know about. I thanked a Navy vet at the Kroger the other day. Had a good little chat. Ken thanked a Navy vet. This guy was a F-14 Tomcat guy. Ken thanked him at the Sam's Club. And then, Daryl, I've got you down for a Marine Corps vet, a Vietnam vet, and then another occasion, a Marine Corps Vietnam vet. So that was 3 for Daryl. Lori thanked an Army vet at the hospital. I forget which hospital. Lori thanked an airman, active duty female airman at the store. I forget where she was. Now here's Aunt Paula. So Aunt Paula's retired. Aunt Paula spent 30-some years working for the United States Air Force as a civilian at Maxwell Air Force Base. And she's retired now and has earned every bit of her retirement, that's for sure, spending that many years in service. But she is on a new mission, it seems. This is her list over the last couple of weeks. This is my Aunt Paula. She thanked a Pasco County Sheriff's Deputy, an Army vet, and an Air Force vet at the Sam's Club, a Korean War vet who had a Purple Heart, 2 active duty airmen who are twin girls who are somehow related to her, and I forgot the story, 2 sheriff's deputies, an Army vet at the Cracker Barrel in Prattville, 2 Muskogee, Georgia sheriff's deputies, Muskogee County, I think that's near Albany. I think it's near Albany. So it must have been on her way to or from the Tampa area to Montgomery. She also thanked a World War II veteran called Frank. This was her favorite. If you want to read the account, because I can't do it justice, if you want to read her story about that encounter, go to the Speaking of Zane Facebook group. Even though my account's locked, you can still see the Speaking of Zane Facebook group. And to communicate, that's where I'm going to have Lori post things for me until I can get back online. But go there. Aunt Paula gives a nice update of that encounter with this World War II veteran called Frank. It's just a fascinating story. So that was pretty good. That was 19 thank yous that I counted over the last couple of weeks. And that takes our total. Remember, we're in pursuit of 1,000, or that's our next major milestone. We're at 958. 958. So that means we've got 42 to go. And if we do 42 to go, it's not going to take long if we do it at 19 at a clip. So good job, everybody, for that. Another great worthy thing that you're doing. I mean, it seems silly, it seems insignificant, but I tell you what, you may change someone's life literally when you take a minute to show them somebody, you know, when they realize somebody cares enough to stop them and say thank you or I appreciate you. That could be life changing in some cases. So don't underestimate the value of a thank you. So good work, everybody. Good work. All right. I think I'm about at the end of my list. Of course, I can't look at Facebook right now. I like to look at Zane's Facebook page and pull out tidbits. I found some stuff last time that I had never seen before or don't recall seeing. But I can't get to it right now. Nothing new on the organization's front. I already mentioned my Warriors Place. Lori has raised some money for Kelly. I think it's still open, by the way. I think you go to Lori's Facebook page. I think you can still donate there. But Lori will be passing that off to Kelly. And then sometime probably October, I would say, we'll make a drive down there, spend a week or so, and I'm going to get my Florida coworkers, and we're going to go do something for Kelly at the retreat there. Not too early to plan that. I need to get with Kelly and carve out a time and everything, a date and time. But we'll be sure to let you guys know what's going on. All right. Well, I didn't. Of course, I'm not on Facebook, and that's one of my sources that I've triggered. I have these notifications I get from certain outlets, and I haven't been able to do that. And that's how I track most of the time any of the heroes that we've lost over the last week, either in combat or training for combat. So I'm going to have to rearrange until I get back on Facebook, rearrange my sources so that I can stay abreast of that type of thing. I tell you, they deserve to be recognized. Anybody that gives their life for this country or in service to this country has my utmost admiration. Okay, well, goodness gracious, this has been a different speaking of Zane, but I'm so glad to be back after missing a week. I missed it, and I'm glad you guys found us over here on the YouTube channel. You can see my channel there. You can see it's got the Speaking of Zane guitar pick logo there. You can actually subscribe to the channel, get notifications and all that stuff. I hope you will. And that way whenever I schedule one of these, you'll get a notification. So look for you guys know how to do that. Look for on the YouTube channel to subscribe to my channel. And until I can get back on Facebook, this is how we will do it. And we just have to keep spreading the word. Unfortunately, my page, not only can I not get into it, but my page is invisible to everybody. So Lori can't even go to my page and put a note on there for my connection. So but we can do it through Speaking of Zane. So anyway, thank you everybody for joining us. That's all I've got this week. I want to show you. This was the Running to Honor 5K T-shirt. Just an awesome sweat wicking T-shirt. This is what we walked our 5K in a couple weeks ago. I didn't get to wear it last week. We didn't have Speaking of Zane, but anyway, just an awesome shirt. Aaron does such a great job with that, and we're so proud to be part of that every year. All right, everybody. Let's see. Let me just take one more pass at the chat here and make sure I have not ignored anyone. Thank you, Ken. Ken says, have a great week. Let's see if I can show that. There you go. Yeah, I can show that. Okay. Yeah, thank you, Ken, for that. Appreciate it. And anybody that's watching, you are welcome to join us every week. Subscribe to the channel, and you will get notifications when we go live for Speaking of Zane. And that will continue even when we get back on Facebook. You will get the notifications on YouTube. You can watch live on YouTube, or you can go to my YouTube channel and watch the replay. So that's the name of that tune. So thanks everybody for the prayers and the support. And we felt them. I know Lori did, and Hannah, and we feel blessed that Hannah is still with us. And we thank all of you guys that were thinking about us, praying for us. And we'll look forward to seeing everybody again next Sunday night for Speaking of Zane, whether it's here or on Facebook, who knows, but we'll look forward to it. Thanks, everybody. Have a great week. Make it count. You don't know what tomorrow holds. I guarantee you. Make your plans. All right. See you, everybody.